Hello, thank you guys so much for coming on tonight, whether you're here in person or watching the recording later. We are so glad that you just tuned in for a few minutes to hear a little bit about what God has done in my story and what he is doing in so many others. So, really quick, my name is Cassie Howard, and I am coming to you from somebody that isn't struggling with stage 4 endometriosis, PCOS, andionosis, a lot of things that I never wish on any single person that they ever have to deal with, because I finally got to the root of what was causing a lot of my issues. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of backstory of kind of how I've got to this place. So back in college, mainly my whole life, I struggled with female issues, and I just shoved it off that this was just me. It's just how my body is. I just need to take Midol and Excedrin and all these things, and I'll be fine anytime that I had a flare up. And anyway, it was in college to where I had a friend. She noticed I was curled up in the corner at our computer lab room, and she said, "Cassie, what's going on?" And I said, "Oh, it's fine. I'm hurting really bad. It'll go away in a minute. I just took some medicine. This is normal." And she said, "No, this is not normal. You need to go see a doctor." So fast forward, went and saw a doctor, and he back then you couldn't tell whether you had endometriosis or any of that without doing surgery. And so he had said, "Well, we can do all these different medications, or we can offer surgery to determine this is what you have, but it sounds like this is what you have. It's the chronic, like it sounds just like the symptoms." And for me, as a college kid, I felt like I didn't want all of these other medications that who knows if they're going to even work and all the side effects to them. I mean, it was birth controls and all these other things. I wanted to know what I had. And so fast forward, had surgery and didn't know that with endometriosis, which is what I found out I had, stage 4, all the things, that you are less likely to get pregnant. And after surgery, you are more likely to. And so we went ahead, had our first daughter, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is how real life feels." I felt incredible. And they had told me, like, "Oh, with pregnancies, it's most likely to go away." And I thought, awesome. Well, great. I'm so glad it's going away. I was wrong. A few months in, after my daughter was born, I started feeling the pain again, and it was excruciating. So I went back to the doctor, and they said, "Well, maybe we just didn't get it all. We can opt for another surgery when you're ready." And so I waited a few months, and I went ahead and did another surgery, because we knew we wanted our kids closer in age. And so had another surgery, same. It was like deja vu, same stuff all over again. Had our second daughter, and then my pain came back, and it came back stronger. And even all the doctors kept saying, "Oh, it should go away after your pregnancies and after surgeries, it should be gone." And it never did. It kept coming back every single time a surgery, and it came back stronger. So this is kind of when I started diving into not really natural health at this point. I felt like I was decent at natural stuff, but not really. If I go back and really think about it, I started working out. I started doing the endometriosis diet and all, no grains, no dairy, all these things. I started joining Facebook groups, trying to figure out what else could I do because no doctor seems to want to help me other than to say, "You just need a hysterectomy." And I thought, why at 27 do I need a hysterectomy? That just didn't seem sit right with me. And so when I started looking into these Facebook groups, a lot of these women were going into the Endometriosis Center in Atlanta, which is top hospital for people like us kind of thing. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to go there. I got my paperwork ready. I was ready, had my appointments getting scheduled. I even had a neuro appointment because I was so dizzy all the time that it was just a thing. And, who knew what I know now, why I was dizzy. And I'll explain that in a little bit too. Um, because doctors don't ask all questions like they should, right? They're just trying the best they can, but they don't know everything. And so, long story short, I started noticing all the women that were coming out of this hospital in these Facebook groups were coming out of there having the same issues months later. They were like, "Hey, I had my surgery with Dr. So and so. Is anybody else having struggles or issues months later? Because I thought this was going to be my cure all, my hope that I'd start feeling better." And I just felt deep down, we all know when God gives us that like sign that something's not right. Like, no, don't go this direction. You need to go somewhere different. And that was the direction I was getting. I was like, okay, this is not where I need to go. So I canceled my appointments. And Plexus kept falling into my lap multiple times. And I kept shooing it off because I thought, why in the world would a probiotic or multivitamin or whatever help me when no doctor could, no surgery could, nobody? And so I was very skeptical. I was very mean about it. I really thought people were a joke when they brought up Plexus to me because, I mean, surgery didn't help. So why would that? And I felt like here I am praying for answers, and God kept trying to give me the solutions, but yet I thought I had all the answers for myself. And until I had to calm myself down and open my heart and my eyes to what God was doing, is when I finally started taking the products. They fell into my lap yet again. And I was like, sure, whatever. I'll take your potion stuff, whatever else. I'll just, you'll see, it won't work for me either. And so I remember starting to take it, and I jokingly made a first post of like, I'm going to tell you this isn't going to work, but I'm going to, it's going to not gonna work for me. Here you go. And it's funny when that post comes around, because everybody kept wondering if it was a pregnancy test or something, because the way I was holding it up and whatnot. But it was funny in the fact that, like, even back then, I had no hope. I had no hope that nothing would work. And so, fast forward, it did not take um, days or weeks for me to start. Like, I did not see great results quickly because I suffered from this for months and on end. So, long story short, it took several months. Honestly, I dealt with this for years. It took several months for me to start seeing great results. Month one, I was like, this is okay. I started having a little bit of detox symptoms, which is a good thing. And then I started month two. I was like, wow, I actually cleaned my refrigerator and I was up and I wasn't like passed out on the floor because of my chronic fatigue. I actually was enjoying my kids a little bit more. And month three, I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't had a ruptured cyst yet. What is going on? This should be happening right now. And month four, I remember month three, the end of month three, my husband's like, whatever, this is placebo effect. There's no way this is actually working. So fast forward month four, I was like, Jason, I haven't been curled up in a ball with a heating pad. I'm not in pain. I'm not having to take any medications. I am not having to go to the doctor or to the minor ER because my pain was so bad or I had a ruptured cyst. I'm not having these symptoms. Why is this working? And he's like, well, let's do one more month and just see. So month four comes and we both were like, this is crazy. And so that was over 8 years ago, where we both looked at each other and was like, how is this working? And I can tell you today it's working because we got to the roots of what was causing my symptoms. The best analogy is like a tree. You are a tree. If your branches, everything is not working properly, if you have eczema and all these things that are happening, it's because the root system isn't strong enough to sustain you and hold you any longer. It's been screaming for help for years and years, but we never thought to look there. We've been masking it with other things and other band-aids because why not, right? That's all we knew. And so now we know how important the gut is. And what I love about this company is we have been in the gut health system for over 16 years. And so we have been the founding to gut health and why it is the key to nutrition and everything else that you might be struggling with too. So if you're listening to this, one, thank you for coming. Thank you for having an open heart and open mind, because a lot of us have prayed for you right now to kind of hear and see what this could be for you as well. Like maybe you are praying like I was for answers and praying in my prayer closet to just find solutions. You could be that person too. And I'm telling you, if you're as skeptical as I was and have no hope, I was right there with you. I promise you, if you give these a fighting chance, you've dealt with whatever you're dealing with for years, give this a fighting chance. Don't give it 1 week. Don't give it 5 days. Don't give it, 2 months. You're going to have to give it a long lasting time to see long lasting effects. And that is why I'm here today. And honestly, I told God that these products would work, that I would shout this from the rooftop, just like I'm doing right now on calls like this, or telling my friends and my family, because I do not want any single person to have to suffer when we could get to the root system and start helping heal and get this nation into a better health system that we should have. And so if we can help people get to the roots and help them start feeling better, then could you imagine how many of our family and friends would not be struggling any longer? And a lot of them probably aren't even telling you, which is why I do these, because we just never know who needs to hear this. And so thank you for coming. Thank you for hearing and tuning in. Do you want to say a quick thing? Okay. So I'm going to pass it to my friend Julia. She is a nurse. She also saw that the root system was starting to not work as well. And so I would love to have you hear her story for a few minutes and kind of hear what God has done in her life too.
Hello, my friends. So I am super blessed to be here. This has been one of the biggest gifts that I never, ever asked for, or ever thought I would be. So, my story started, oh gosh, 2.5 years ago. Oh, kind of probably 3 years ago when I really started digging into more holistic health. As a nurse, I was a bedside nurse for 24 years, worked up at a main hospital, did critical care and then obstetrical ICU. And that is where I ended up going through COVID. And anybody who knows the COVID times knows that that was a very stressful time for everybody, not to mention being in the hospital. And I found myself working a lot of nights, covering a lot of shifts, being very tired, and basically searching for better energy products because the energy products I was taking was killing my insides and I could tell. I've known Cassie for years and Cassie's reached out to me for many years. So if you are somebody who your friend, you are finally here and your friends talk to you for many years, don't be a me. Don't make them wait 6 years. But you know what? Sometimes we just have to get to the point where we're willing to listen. And I think that was really where I was. God needed to grow me in certain ways before I could actually have my eyes opened to this beautiful gift that is, I think everybody needs. And as I started to really dig into what gut health was, I initially contacted Cassie because my energy stuff that I was taking was starting to really tear up my stomach. I was having terrible heartburn. I was having recurring headaches, which I hadn't really struggled with headaches most of my life, except for the last probably 3 or 4. I was starting to have more migraines. And there was a plethora of other things that I was noticing, but the energy and the heartburn were the two main ones that I called her for. And I said, what do you have to help me? Can I have some samples? Tried a few days worth of samples. My story is very different than Cassie's. I tried samples for energy. So keep that in mind. And I could tell a huge difference within a few days. And I was like, oh my gosh. I even told my husband, my words to my husband were, if this works so beautiful for me in just 3 days, I would love to know what it would look like to do it for a month because I felt so good on the products. And I knew, I personally knew all of my nurses I was working with needed these products. And then I also knew that these could help so many other people. So my story with it is, yes, I loved the products. Yes, I was super excited about what the products potential were, but I was paying for my children to be in private school and I had bills that needed to get paid. And there was no way that I could spend an extra $50 a month or that I could, in good mind, agree to spend $150 on products and add that to my budget for my family. That was a really big part of it for me. And so I immediately told Cassie, I said, here's the deal. I feel how good they work. I see what you're saying, how it could help a lot of people. If I'm going to take these products for longer than a month, I need to get them paid for. So we went into the referral program, the referral program through Plexus is amazing. Basically, what I had to do was just share my experience, and that's exactly what I did. I posted almost every few days telling them what I was doing, my first post, and then kind of sharing with them my story as I went and telling them what I was doing, what I was taking, what I was experiencing. And then also interjecting some of the testimonies I was seeing as a nurse that was touching my heart because I was like, what in the world are these products doing for people? And so as I did that for the first month, I literally was able to help 4 or 5 people jump on and decide to start their own health products, which the majority of those people that started that first month with me are still taking these products today and have amazing testimonies themselves, which is a huge blessing to me. But I was able to have enough income from that to pay for my own products and to purchase products for my husband. So I have never again, since the first time that I bought Plexus, ever spent my own money to buy the products. So it has always come from my referral checks. So that was a huge blessing. But the second month, I really started to dig more into gut health and what that looked like. And I was seeing the testimonies come through. It just was causing my brain to go crazy as a nurse because I was like, what in the world are in these products that are allowing so many health issues that in medicine we can only medicate and bandage their symptoms for to actually go away, resolve, or go into what's it called? Remission. And I was like, I need to learn more about this. And you guys, what I have found is that the company's corporate board that comes up with these supplements, are comprised of, my personal opinion, the perfect healthcare system, because what we have is a broken care system. But they have doctors, naturopaths, holistic doctors, herbalists, dietitians, and scientists that all work together to come up with these supplements to make them work the best in your body. And they stay in their own lane. They only focus on gut health. So they're not trying to go along with the quickest fad. They're not trying to, come up with something new just because it's trendy. They're focusing on the gut microbiome. And what we don't realize is that we are more gut microbiome in our bodies than anything else in our system. Any other organ, skin is gut microbiome. So when we're not taking care of that, we're doing a huge disservice to our overall health. And there's been so many things coming out about how important health or gut health is to your overall health. And as I started to see that, I just knew that this was something that everybody needed to be on. And within 3 months, I had a lot of my nurses taking this, which a lot of them still take it. The other thing is my heartburn that I had been medicated for 8 years, completely gone, to the point where I don't take any medication anymore. I haven't since 3 months. And then the other beautiful thing is, 2 things. My headaches, almost completely gone. I rarely have a headache, have not had a migraine since I started these products. And also my menopause. I've been in menopause for a few years. I was struggling a lot with some of my symptoms with hormone stuff, hot flashes, all of those fun things, dryness that we don't like to talk about, which I'm a nurse, so I can talk about that and it doesn't bother me. But all those things that come along with it result. Like I rarely have a hot flash. I may run a little hotter. Some people think, I think it's
I'm
just her perimenopause that she's cold,
It's true.
but I don't have hot flashes. I'm not waking up drenched in sweat every night. I'm not waking up super uncomfortable or freaking out because my neck feels like it's on fire. So all of that to say is gut health is one of the best things you can ever do for your overall health. And the fact that you have the ability to get your products paid for, no other company offers you that. No other business that you go to. If you go to Natural Grocers, which I used to buy my probiotics from Natural Grocers, which I was still on heartburn medicine with my probiotics. So obviously it wasn't doing what it needed to do because it wasn't a system. It wasn't all the different things together that work together. So all of those places, they don't give you money back to be able to afford your products. And that's what I love about this company. That is something that has been a huge blessing to me. And I've had the blessing of the last couple of years being able to watch hundreds of people transform their health. So it has been one of the biggest privileges of my life. And it is definitely something that from a medical perspective, every single person should be on. Trust me, I have multiple of my doctors and nurses that I am in constant conversation with over it. So it's definitely, I'm prayerfully hoping that it's going to be changing here soon. So,
And you just left.
and I did. I just left my hospital nursing position that I had had for 24 years back in October to do this full time because God has just burned it into my heart that this is something that I can help people grow at and then also help touch other people's lives through their health. So super, super pumped to be able to be blessed enough to do that.
So again, thank you guys so much for coming tonight. Thank you for hearing our stories. This is just a small percentage of the stories that are in Plexus, guarantee. So whatever you're dealing with, please reach out to whoever sent you this so that maybe we can figure out what symptoms you're going through and we could almost guarantee to find you a testimony that will touch you just like they did us when we first started too. And then if you're looking into maybe a little bit of extra cash, like most of us are needing right now, we are happy to help you with that. Our referral program is truly phenomenal. Most people are taking supplements these days. And so it's a great conversation to have of getting people switched over to really good quality products. They're going to start noticing a difference versus just taking it and being like, well, I just take a multivitamin. You should start feeling a difference when you're taking something. And so
Absolutely.
again, thank you again for coming in and we are happy to talk more. Hope you guys have a blessed night.
Bye.